Hello and welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where I talk about how it takes a village to raise our kids.
So the big question is this: how are parents like us, who don't have a manual, who are doing the best we can, who feel as though we aren't enough, how are we going to raise healthy, happy children who we are proud of and still keep our sanity in that process? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Ryan Roy, and welcome to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, a podcast for parents who are being real with themselves.
Hello and welcome back to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about how it takes a village to raise our kids. So this week was an interesting week for me. I had a lot of commitments, and my wife had asked me a month or two ago, hey, what does the week of this week look like on the calendar for you? And off the top of my head, I was like, it should be fine. Go on that conference. She has a conference at work, which was optional. It was a great opportunity for her to learn and grow. And she was away in Washington, D.C., and I obviously get the boys. What I didn't realize is it was the first week of school. And as I've talked in previous, podcasts, I have made the commitment to be the co-president of the PTA at my son's school. In addition to that, I run a dad's program at the school. In addition to that, I have my business, my coaching business, and I happen to take on some new clients. It happens to be the beginning of the month. And when you get new clients at the beginning of the month that are on one-year programs, there's a lot of attention to detail in preparing. Because it's the first week of school, our principal decided to have open house nights this week. It was crazy, to say the least. But I've survived. It's Friday. It's actually 5 o'clock as I am recording this podcast. My son, the older one's at the next door neighbor's playing. I'm going to pick up the little one at daycare. And my wife just landed as she just left me a text. But it takes a village, right? I had all these other commitments. The neighbor, as my son's over there playing, hey, he can come over and play any day this week. We know you're busy. Dads that know, how much I'm committed to all these other things were like, hey, your wife's out of town. Do you need me to take the boys? Their wives can take the boys. Like, people were coming out of the woodworks just understanding the situation. And I had to take a lot of people up on a lot of these mini opportunities. Somebody called me this week, I think on Wednesday. Says, hey, does Chris want to come over to the pool? And I was like, if I can drop him and go for about 2 hours, he can. If not, he's stuck here. If I need to drop and go. And she's like, drop and go. Do you want to pick him up, or do you want me to drop him off? And I was like, she goes, dropping off's no problem. So she dropped him off. As I was struggling to get a babysitter because a lot of other people had commitments, I was sharing with the daycare. I was like, the wife is out of town, and I have a commitment tomorrow night, and I don't know what I'm going to do. And they're like, you need a babysitter? She goes, hey, this teacher used to be the little one's teacher. She'll come over and do it. She walks in the office, says, I need a babysitter for tomorrow night. Can you help out? She goes, well, what time? I work till 6 tomorrow. And I said, oh, man, I need you at 5:30. And the boss, the owner, and the and basically the director of the school look at her and go, it's for him. You can leave early. And I'm just in gratitude for all of these little things that fell into place nearly perfectly this week, because it takes a village. And then I kind of jokingly said after she left, I said, it drives me a little crazy that I got to pay for a babysitter so that I could pour into the school. And she goes, yeah, but Ryan, that's what you're all about. You're about helping people and empowering people. And if every once in a while you got to pay somebody else to watch your kids to affect 1,200 kids at this school and their parents, you know it's going to be well worth it. And I appreciated the perspective. I appreciated that they saw it for what it's worth. Because sometimes when you're in it, it's tough to see it all. So it's just interesting how much we rely on each other if we decide to rely on each other. See, I don't know jack about parenting, but I know this. I grew up in a single parent household, and I was taught to be independent at a very young age. For me, throughout my life, it's been difficult for me to ask for help. But this week, I didn't have to ask for any help. It just showed up because there's a village of people around me who are good people. My wife and I are fortunate to have amazing people in our lives who also pour into the community. And because we all are in this together to empower not only our kids, but all the kids that may be a little bit less fortunate, those people saw I needed a need this week. And in so many small, amazing ways, people stepped up. So what I would say is, if you don't have a village, find a village. And I say the best way to create a village, I just got a text come through as I'm recording this, and one of the parents who stepped up for me, the one who asked me to have my kids, she goes, this was a pretty damn long week. Literally that text just came through as I recorded this, and she's right, but we have each other. And I encourage you, if you don't have a village, be the village you desire. What does that mean? You want to surround yourself with good people? Be a good person. You want to surround yourself with people who help? I would suggest to help. People know that I give of myself in a lot of ways for the greater community. So when I needed help this week, I didn't have to ask. It just showed up. And for that, I am grateful. We'll see you in the next episode.
Do you want to be the dad you wish you had? If so, go get my free book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, at BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com. Inside, you'll find my most effective 40 tips to quickly and easily transform yourself into the ideal dad. Go to BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com now and get it while it's free.